Hardrocker fans. This is Coach Jerry Jacobson with the Hardrocker women's basketball team. Coming off a great weekend for our ladies. We went down to Alamos, Colorado, had a nice long bus ride down there with a little bit of weather, and then faced a tough Adams State team. They had a lot of their players back from injury that were injured last year, and very talented squad. But just like the rest of us, fighting against a lot of practices and not playing too much together. So, but like I said, they have some talented players, and I thought we did a great job of sticking with our game plan. A lot of improvement from our last weekend out, so that was really awesome to see, and that was one of our big areas of emphasis, was just making sure that we were improving on some of the areas that we had talked about. Defensively, I thought we did a great job. We had one quarter where we gave up 20 points, but we talked about that, and in the second half, we only gave up 12 points each quarter, so that was something that was really positive and we were really excited about. And like I said, there was a lot of good things that we saw, and I think it was nice for our players too to get that win, and the morale has been pretty good this week, combined with finals being over and just playing basketball games and getting our first win. So with that, we'll take a look at some highlights from this weekend against Adams State. We talked about trying to get Ryan a little more involved and getting her going, and right from the get-go of the game, we were able to do that and get her a nice look. And we changed up our starting lineup a little bit just to give us some different looks, and that's Fran Faccini hitting a three for us. I thought we did a really great job of executing offensively different things we wanted to see. Still able to find some back doors, which has been great. I think I mentioned last week, we had more back doors in that first weekend than we did all last year, and kind of the same thing this week. Juno Jones getting a great attack and a little step-through finish. I thought we did a tremendous job of getting to the rim against a team that's a driving team. It was kind of neat to see us able to do the same thing right back at them. There's Rye again getting going. Naomi getting to the rim. One of my favorite possessions of the game. Had a nice on ball, nice extra pass. Led to an open shot for us. Shaq had quite a few steals this weekend. Nice to see, leading to an easy point for her. Juno and Shaq, they're a tremendous little defensive squad out there together, and it started with a steal, and then they came down and had a little two-man game right there, which was pretty fun to see. Juno, I guess when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. Juno hit a three for us during our little scoring run, and then Juno to Bailey Johnson. Old high school teammates, still finding each other on the court. So like I said, it was great to see. We had a lot of improvement, nice flow offensively, and then defensively, we're a lot scrappier than we were last year, and that's something that's really exciting. We were on the floor a lot, and so that's something that's really positive for us, and something we're continuing to emphasize each week in practice, is just being scrappy and getting the 50-50 balls that are loose, or rebounding, those kinds of things. Mel Johnstone, I want to give her credit. Adams State has a 6'4" Division I post who transferred in this year, and I thought Mel did a tremendous job guarding her, as well as Naomi when she came in. They did a great job of moving their feet and just really taking her out of her game, and so that was something that I wanted to give them credit for, and hopefully moving forward that those players don't really have successful games against us, because we do have Mel and Naomi to shut them down in there. Looking forward to this week. We have Metro State on Thursday. A lot of new faces with their team as well. They brought in a transfer who's a very good scorer, so she'll be a little different for us compared to the Metro that we played last year, because like I said, they've got new players, and they've had a couple players that just opted back in, I guess, who had opted out earlier in the season, so trying to get them fit into the scouting reports, and we'll hit the floor today and get prepared for them, and then we've got Colorado Christian on Saturday. So really proud of our players for being adaptable, and there's changes every week. We've been on the road. This week will be the third weekend on the road, and I think that they've accepted it, and I think they're just excited to play, and just, like I said, ready to get on the court back together again.
Okay, Coach, we have a few questions here for you. And we're just going to jump right into what you were just talking about. You're going to have an extra, or I guess a day off when you're in Denver. Do you find that, is that going to be an advantage? Are you guys going to be able to rest, or what are you guys going to do on that day off?
I really love the Thursday, Saturday schedule. When I was at Idaho, that's what we did, and it was nice to have that Friday to go in, walk through the scout, and get prepared for Saturday's game, while at the same time getting a lot of legs rested. Early in the season, we're not quite in the shape that we will be in January and February, so it's nice to have that day of recovery, and so we can get prepared to be a little fresher for Saturday's game.
All right, and then what's the biggest challenge spending all this time on the road?
I would say just the unknowns and our players being excited to play at home, and then learning, nope, guess we're not playing at home. I think that's one of the bigger challenges, is just wrapping your mind around that. And then the other challenge is, being on a bus that long. We just got back from Adams State, and it was a 13-hour bus ride home because of weather. And so that's something, this time of year that makes travel a little difficult, is when it starts snowing and things like that. It elongates your travel, and you spend a lot more time on the bus. And this year, we're keeping our kids as safe as possible, and they don't get off the bus when we travel, unless we get to like a big open space and they can get out and just stretch their legs. But for the most part, they were on a bus for 13 hours straight without being able to get off, because we don't want them to go into gas stations or anything like that. So I think that's another pretty big challenge that we're learning to overcome and navigate, and find ways to at least stretch our legs and move past it.
All right, and then going back to Saturday's game, it seemed like you're starting to gel more as a team. Are you seeing that as well?
Yes, it's kind of where we were right before we got shut down with practices. We were really starting to get a good flow, and having that week of practice after our first two games, that really helped, and we fine-tuned a lot of things. And I agree, we're definitely flowing a little better, have a little bit more chemistry on the court together, and it's exciting to see, and it's amazing what some practices can do for you.
Mm-hmm. And also, would you say that you have a deep bench now as well?
Yes, that's one thing that's really nice, is we've got 11 players right now on the bench that can all go in and contribute in any way. And that's sometimes what's kind of hard as a head coach, is I've got 11 players I could put in, and so trying to figure out spots for them, and trying to keep that flow, and trying to get everybody opportunities to be successful.
All right, and we recently announced a new signee. Tell us about her.
Yes, we just added Janzi Mers to our Hardrocker family. She completes our 2021 recruiting class. She's a post player from Kathleen, Washington. Extremely athletic. She is built, she can jump, she's strong. We're really excited for what she's going to bring to our program. When she came on her visit, we had her do a workout, and she's just, the sky is the limit for Janzi, and we're just really excited to get her here and get her with our post players. And she's really going to increase the level of intensity in practices with her work ethic, and just, like I said, her strength and her athleticness.
All right, Coach, that's all the questions I have for you. Any final thoughts as you get back on the bus?
No, just again, we appreciate everybody's support, and the messages and everything after games. Those are always nice to hear, since we don't get to have fans in the gym. It's nice to see our fans are still following us, and like I said, we appreciate you, and we hope everybody has a really Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
All right, Coach, thank you, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
We are curious. We are tenacious. We've got what it takes to change the world. As one of the nation's premier engineering, science, and technology universities, South Dakota Mines is at the forefront of what's next. We embrace challenges, we let our curiosity lead, and we build a confidence supported by teamwork and collaboration. From our beginnings as a mining school to our status today as a world-class engineering and science university, South Dakota Mines continues to transform our students, our communities, and our world. South Dakota Mines, advancing the frontier of innovation.
Hi, this is Eric Glenn. I've been the basketball coach for South Dakota School of Mines. And, we're here to talk about our game this past weekend versus Adams State. We thought we had a really good week of practice heading into that game. From our first weekend, or our first two games, we faced two really good teams in the league. And obviously in the second night, we had a lot of errors mentally and physically. And so those are things that we really tried to strive to get better at throughout the week. And we were really excited going down to Adams State, who was a really good basketball team as well. They were here at our place last year. They were missing a couple post guys, and it still, it was a tough matchup for us, and we were able to pull away. And actually, I think that was our first conference win of the year last year at that time as well. So this year they had a lot of the same guards back, and they've added some post guys, and so we knew that they were going to be a pretty solid team. Their leading scorer was one of those new post guys coming in, and as we entered the game, we anticipated him playing. He did get injured the game before, so they didn't have him in at the post spot, which was a good and a bad. Obviously, their top scorer wasn't in the game, but those shots were going to go to somebody else. We knew that. We just didn't know who. And it put them in a position where they ended up throughout the game, put us in some really big mismatch problems. And so I really was excited for our guys when it was all said and done, with the fact that we had a lot of adversity of putting guys. We had a lot of, sometimes our posts guarding quicker, faster guards. And I thought they did a terrific job of keeping them in front and making them shoot shots that we wanted them to shoot. And just overall, as a team, we talked about, number one, not giving up layups, especially uncontested layups, which really haunted us the weekend before. We did a great job in that. Adams State does a great job of getting out in transition. We did a tremendous job of not allowing them to get out and get a lot of transition points on us. And that, number one, started with our turnovers. The weekend before, we had 52 turnovers between two games. We only had 15 in this game, which is a remarkable improvement for our team. We still want it to be lower, but we'll take that for now. And it was good enough overall to get us a very quality win. On the offensive side, we had some guys step up. We played with a lot more poise. We weren't in a hurry as much. They tried to pick up the pressure on us, and I thought that we handled that adversity very well for our team. It didn't really rattle us. They made a late run on us. We had built a lead. They made a late run on us and tied it at 59. We were able to gather ourselves together and again execute offensively. Cole Mortensen kind of started that off, hitting a big three at that point. And then I think we followed up with another three. I think it was by Brevin Walter at that time. And so those threes really propelled us and got us built us a lead late, and we were able to hold on by hitting our free throws down the stretch, which is another big thing. And we hadn't been in that position yet this year. So just a lot of great things to take from that game. And not that the games before, there wasn't great things to take from them. It's just a lot easier to do it after a win. So that's always exciting. And so it makes a snow travel trip back from Alamosa, that's supposed to be a 10-hour ride, a 14-hour bus ride, a lot better to take too as you come back. So great weekend, great week. And now we're looking to turn the page this week again and to build off of what we did there. We'll face two, again, very improved teams from last season. Metro State obviously is a traditional power in the RMAC. They kind of had an off year last year. They've added a lot of new guys and very talented. They've kind of been in the same boat we were. Got off to a slow start, and then this last weekend they kind of found their footing, it looks like, and they played a very good basketball game against Western State at home and got their first conference win and played very well. And then we'll have Colorado Christian, who as well, with a new coach, have a lot of the same players back. They are missing their key post player from last year, which makes them a little bit smaller, but they are extremely fast and they play very well on the offensive end. They're going to be a really tough matchup for us because they don't play with a true big inside, and they shoot the three very, very well. And so both games are going to be a great challenge for us, but we're really looking forward to the opportunity. Again, it's just a great opportunity for us as a youthful team to get better and to see some competition. And I really think that we have a great opportunity still to do some successful things. But it's going to definitely take a lot of discipline and consistency from our part to be able to do that.
Okay, Coach, going back to this past weekend's win, talk a little bit about Brevin Walters' performance. Is that something that was anticipated? I mean, is he going to emerging as a...
You know, Brevin obviously had a good game. You know, I know people look at a box score and see that he's our leading scorer. I was really more happy with his defense. You know, I thought he played a very good defensive game. He was in the right spots where he should be a lot of times. He did a tremendous job of keeping the guy that he was on in front of him and being able to use his length on him. He was a little bit smaller, but at the same time, he kept him in front. He was able to challenge shots, and he got some good rebounds as well. You know, honestly, on the offensive end, I still think he can shoot it a lot better than he did. He left some points, I think, on the floor where he had some really wide open looks, and so we're going to expect him to be a little bit more efficient in those areas. But what he did do well, where he wasn't efficient during the play, is that he did get to the free throw line, and he knocked down his free throws. And so that was a very good positive on the offensive side. So overall, it's a good performance by him, but, you know, we are having a higher expectation for him. And yes, the expectation is that for him to be one of those guys that's going to be able to you know, be able to hit points. And quite honestly, I thought this last game was a game potentially that, you know, he could have entered in that anywhere from 24 to 28 points game. And, you know, I think down the road you'll see that out of him.
Okay. And now just kind of talk a little bit about third weekend in a row on the road. Is it causing a little bit of challenges for you and the team?
Well, you know, people want to make stuff about that. For us, you know, a gym is a gym, and you know, we preach all the time. We control what we control. We don't worry about what's going to happen. And so for a year like this really fits into our mantra of we really stress that from week to week. And for our guys, we're just always excited about the opportunity to get on the floor and play another team, especially in a year like this. We're very appreciative just for the opportunity to do it, because we know a lot of teams aren't able to do this. Teams in South Dakota still have not played yet. And so we know that we are in a positive situation where people have really worked hard to make sure that we get this opportunity. And so for us, we know it's our job to show that appreciation by going out there and just really focusing and being professional about what we do, and really play hard, smart, and together, and continue to try and just get better week to week. And so to be on the road, you know, we're going to take these road trips sometime. You know, why not right now when we're not in school? It works out pretty good for us. We'll find the silver lining out of it, and that's even, you know, the Adams State game was just like that for us. We were just excited. You could see the enthusiasm of our guys to be on the floor. And unfortunately, we played a lot better basketball than we did the weekend before. And that's what we're kind of hoping to do this weekend as well, is to be able to do that. I think the biggest trap is this time of year, is for the road team especially, as people start looking ahead of taking off for Christmas break and doing those kind of things. What's going to happen going home? What's my travel plans and stuff? And so we really challenge our guys to say, you know, yes, you have to take care of those plans and have those all in order, but those have to be prioritized throughout the day, and know when's time to be thinking about basketball, what your goal is here, what our goal is as a team, and just continue to move forward with that. And then when it's time at Saturday after the game is over, you know, then we can worry about those travel plans again and get everybody home and enjoy their Christmas break with their families.
All right, Coach, that's all the questions we had for you today. Final thoughts as you get back on the bus?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing for us is, you know, we're just really excited to be able to have the opportunity to go play a couple of great teams. And we're, you know, Denver for us, we don't think that's a hard trip at all. And so, you know, we're really excited to get down to that area. I think there's going to be, you know, great excitement for our team to be able to play. And, you know, what I'm really excited to see is that, like I said, we're going to play a team in Metro State that they're very similar to Adams, although I just think they're maybe be able to do, I think they're maybe a little bit more patient on offense. They're going to make us guard a little bit longer of the shot clock. And so we got to really keep our focus for a little bit longer during each defensive possession. And on the offensive end, they're going to do what Adams tried to do. They're going to try to disrupt us. They're going to put pressure on us. And I'm really anxious to see how our guys can handle it again. Against different groups, it could be a little bit of a different look. But at the same time, it's about keeping your poise and and making good plays, and I think we can do that. And it's just, I'm excited to go do it. These guys are extremely fun to coach. You know, our practice we just got done with was a tremendously fun practice as coaches because they compete like crazy. They're sponges. They really are very coachable. And when they do that, it just makes us excited that we're just excited to go see them go play against somebody else again and see if they can have some great success again for another night.
All right, Coach, good luck this weekend, and well, we'll visit with you next week.
Sounds great. Thank you.